Tom Homan is not playing. Kristi Noem is not playing. ICE is not playing. Border Patrol is not playing. None of these individuals are going to continue playing the games. The sanctuary cities are basically hoping that we want to continue playing. Okay, so that's not a thing. All right. So either way, breaking: ICE arrests hundreds of criminal migrants in major sanctuary city operation. So it looks like we just entered into a bust, guys. We're down for it. This is a suggestion via Discord, guys. Let's go ahead and jump into it.
City, after promising to bring safety back to Boston, border czar Tom Homan is already seeing results. Homan announcing that 370 illegal immigrants were recently arrested, with a majority of them being, quote, significant criminals with charges including trafficking and child crimes. Homan writing in a lengthy X post, I made a promise at CPAC that I was going to Boston after reading about numerous illegal alien child walking the streets of Boston and Massachusetts. ICE had to find and arrest these illegal aliens because Massachusetts and Boston are sanctuaries that refuse to cooperate.
They arrest them and they let them go.
With ICE, they would rather release these animals back into their community rather than honor ICE detainers or notify ICE when they are scheduled to be released. Mayor Wu later testified that I was lying. Thomas Hodgson is the former sheriff of Bristol County, Massachusetts, and he joins me now. Sheriff, good morning to you. What is it like being a sheriff, a former sheriff, in a state that allows this to happen?
It's hard, probably.
Well, good morning, Carly. Thank you for having me. It makes it more difficult, obviously. In my case, I'm a Republican who served 25 and a half years, and I had an immigration detention facility for that entire 25 was housing for them for an entire 25 and a half years. I built a facility and had one of the largest in the country with regards to holding detainees at about an average of 225 a day. But that didn't mean that I wasn't going to be getting a lot of flack, which I did, from the dominant Democrat legislature, the current governor, and the former governor as well, Deval Patrick, trying to undermine my abilities to keep my community safe and uphold my oath. It's particularly difficult for any sheriff in Massachusetts that wants to do that, although I'll give credit to the Plymouth County sheriff, who is now housing detainees there and doing a good job with it. He's full speed ahead.
Yeah, well, so some people...
Yeah, guys, I can only imagine, like, if you were in some type of, lead position, specifically dealing with criminality, where you had the ability, hopefully at least, to kind of slow down the absolute influx of criminality, and you're being told you can't do it because everyone around you says, you know what, we like crime. We don't want to hurt people's feelings, right? I mean, bro, listen, if they are here committing secondary offenses, okay, and absolutely heinous secondary offenses based off of what Tom Homan said earlier in his video here, guys, then I'm not sure why we should be attempting to house them still. Because again, guys, growing up, I thought if you were like a green card holder or you were in the process of getting some type of citizenship or residency, if you committed any type of crime, you were gone. What happened to these days, guys? What happened?
People are trying to find workarounds to this, but to your point, just take a look at the people that the state of Massachusetts, the city of Boston, have allowed back onto the streets. A Guatemalan charged with 3 counts of aggravated child released on $7,500 bail. Another Guatemalan charged with aggravated child of a victim aged 9 or younger released on $7,500 bail. A Honduran charged with assault, masked armed robbery, released on his own recognizance. Zero. The list goes on and
That's
on.
Fine. So it's fine. Someone walks up to you, imagine an American citizen walking up to you and doing these things, and it's completely fine. Is that a thing? Something tells me that would not be the case. So why exactly are we putting, people, for the most part, above the law, guys? What's going on with this?
Sheriff, I'm sure that even these criminals are thinking, wow, I'm getting off easy. I'm lucky here. Is there something that we're missing here as to why this is happening? What is your reaction to that list that I just read?
Well, that's exactly what Tom Homan's been talking about, and that's what all of us in law enforcement have understood. But not these politicians like Michelle Wu, the mayor of Boston, who frankly is more interested in her personal benefits than she is in her public service.
I can imagine that.
Look, she was elected like the rest of us and took an oath to uphold the rule of law. And what they're doing is she's creating this cover for criminals to come here, illegal aliens to come here and know that they're going to have a less likely chance of being identified. And it isn't just about Boston's crime. What about all the neighboring communities? They're going to lay low.
Bro, what happened to the L?
In Boston because they're going to get the cover they need.
Hold on, guys. Where is this an angle thing, or did you purpose swimming pool?
What about all the neighboring communities? They're going to lay low in Boston because they're going to get the cover they need, but then they go to these neighboring communities and commit more crimes.
Yeah, that's a great point. It just doesn't stay in the city. It also spills out
to other
areas as well. So if you remember a couple weeks ago, Mayor Michelle Wu, she was up on Capitol Hill testifying about sanctuary cities. She was asked a very pointed question about illegal immigrants and whether or not her city allows them back out onto the streets, and she denied it. Listen.
Oh, really?
When an illegal alien is a woman, do you believe you're on the right side of history? Mayor Wu, yes or no?
No. Obviously horrible.
Why are you letting back out onto the streets of Boston?
That is not true. That is not what's happening in Boston.
And yesterday, Governor Maura Healey put out a statement saying Massachusetts is not a sanctuary state. So how do you respond to that?
Look,
why are they acting
Healey
like it?
Has been a long-standing advocate going back to the days of her being attorney general. She filed more lawsuits against Donald Trump than any other attorney general in the country. She was on the other side of the Mexican border when she was attorney general, saying that the United States was wrong for not allowing illegals to come into our country without going through the proper process.
And why is she even in any type of power, guys?
This is a governor who has been a pro-woke, left-wing supporter of illegal immigrants. And you know what? The people of Massachusetts are getting fed up with it. And they're tired of her looking beyond their public safety, the safety of their communities, and saying, my political agenda is more important than you, the people that I swore I would protect. And that's the problem we have in Massachusetts.
Wow,
yeah,
dude.
if your number one job is to protect people as an elected official, letting the people out that I just listed, child on low or no bond, certainly does not fit that directive. Tom Homan is going to be on Fox and Friends this morning with more on the migrant crackdown.
Thanks.
Sheriff Hodgson, final words to you real quick.
Just quickly, that also has to do with liberal judges that we have in the Massachusetts that sort of jump into this ideology.
Yeah, it's a topic.
Yeah, guys, here's a problem, guys. We definitely do need to absolutely get rid of the concept of an activist judge. Don't get me wrong. I do think that you need to look at the law, with, modernized for the most part, right? But I definitely would not suggest someone getting into the position of a judge that is just purely acting as if they are an activist, specifically, while trying to adjudicate, let's say, guys.
Topic of conversation very much on the minds of many right now, especially in the Trump administration. Sheriff, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Meanwhile, Tom Homan is not slowing down at all. I could not believe this number. He said this, majority of the 370 being significant criminals. He's talking about what happened over in Massachusetts. These arrests include 8 foreign fugitives, including 4 who are wanted for or to serve on a criminal sentence for, along with traffickers, child predators, and numerous other violent public safety threats. So this was a collection of illegals, lethal illegals, over in Massachusetts. I was encouraged to see the governor saying we're not a sanctuary state.
Right.
It's Boston is a sanctuary city, but we're not a sanctuary city. They were proud of the way they work with us.
The administration changed.
Okay, yeah, but she said nothing. She's saying one thing, but then openly doing the exact opposite, guys. It's a little silly.
Is it the strategy?
She shouldn't be in power.
When it came down to this bus. Remember, in Boston, the mayor provoked Tom Homan. She essentially said, "You're not welcome in the city." What the administration tried to do
Go straight there.
Was to have media along on these ride-alongs to show the public what was going on. Well, leaks started to happen. So Tom Homan put a complete blackout on this, and he didn't even release this until days later. But this is what they found when they were in Boston right there. You got a Dominican alien charged and arrested with multiple distribution crimes and fentanyl trafficking, a Brazilian alien charged with manslaughter, DUI, homicide, breaking and entering, and larceny. You got a Honduran alien convicted of child and assault. You got a Brazilian alien wanted for. You got a homicide. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And good on Tom Homan. He captured people, kept his officers safe, and there was no leaks on this bus.
Well,
guys,
he had said,
hold on. Oh my God. Guys.
ahead of time, I'm going to bring hell to Boston. And he did, indeed, with this
He did.
sweep. And
He
it was
did.
coordinated, and it was very precise, and they were all armored up just in case, because a bunch of them undoubtedly had guns, were armed. It was the FBI, it was ATF, it was a CBP, and the DEA. And they did wind up, of that big number that we told you about, 370, that is to say, 200 had significant criminal convictions. And they did release details about those 14, Lawrence, that you were talking about. But there are no names associated with these criminals and no word where they are being held. And so those are the two things. And, you know, given the fact that we were talking a little bit like...
Yeah, guys, I definitely think we could probably forecast it's going to be Guantanamo Bay based off of a couple of the other instances that were similar to this.
Those are the two things. And, you know, given the fact that we were talking a little bit ago about the Venezuelans, where are those people being housed? Now people are wondering, okay, they round them up. Then where do they come?
You know, a note about Mayor Michelle Wu. She gave her State of the City address, and at the very end of it, she said, "God bless our people. God save whoever messes with Boston." Well, the people who are messing with Boston are who Lawrence just scrolled. Tom Homan said he found 9 examples of who were in jail, who were let out before they could be taken by ICE. So who's messing with your city are these individuals.
Right, the people that you're basically protecting.
And Mayor Wu, I mean, look, I've got to believe there's some political calculation here, because just a reminder, she has a challenge coming up. It's from Josh Kraft, you know, the son of the famous baseball owner. And maybe she thinks this is what Boston wants. I have a different calculation. I guess Tom Homan can address that at 7:20 a.m. here on the show.
I have a question before we move on. When it comes to due process for the 370 and the 269 that were flight over, they scoop them up, they do their background, ICE takes them down, they scoop them up. What role, they're not citizens.
No.
What is due process for an illegal alien accused criminal?
Well, you are entitled to a court hearing. However, if you have the Alien Enemies Act, you are allowed to go over that because it's considered a wartime act. And President Trump, the argument is there's an invasion. One of the arguments is Trinidad Aragua wants to establish territorial integrity in the country. Therefore, we're exempt from providing that due process. It's a colorful argument, has only been used 3 times.
Yeah.
But maybe it will be used here.
And that is why...
It probably will be used here, guys. We're going to actually exit out this video here. Michelle Wu. Like, I'm not sure what she thought. Like... When you say all these things and basically, you know, act as if you are more powerful, let's say, than the federal government and the federal government's demands, how exactly can you be so surprised that they come straight for you? Okay, I mean, you can't be that boastful, let's say, publicly. In your State of the City address, I mean, we've encountered it here on the channel. It's absolutely wild. Like, you're super disrespectful. Like, throwing it in the face that you're not going to comply under any circumstance, it seems, with getting the people that are actually harming your city out of the city. Right? You're not doing anything for it. Nothing. And then also at the same time, you know, normally like public officials, kind of, almost always, let's say, they do represent pretty well the local sentiment, at least. Right? So I don't think that, you know, anyone that's trying to pull her out, let's say, is going to pull her out. Let's just say that right there, guys, because most likely the people that are voting already think that she's doing a great job and love her. Okay. And that's the reality. You know, in a lot of sanctuary cities, guys, they live there for a reason. All right, they love the echo chamber, the reality. But either way, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly.